to another episode of The Real Talk. We are joined here with some of the Broadmeadows youth and discussing our topic on the panel today, which is
the battle of idolatry.
So idolatry means the worship of idols. So in saying that, it says here a Christian view, something that becomes more important than God.
The question is, so do you truly put God first?
So I'll put probably my work, probably money before God. That's just being me, being straight up.
So is that your idol?
Pretty much idle. Besides work, money, probably cars, hobbies, like we really love our cars and stuff. So that's pretty much.
I don't think what I believe. This is what I think. Everything we don't. I feel like we don't idolize work. We don't idolize money. We don't idolize anything. I think we just forget to involve God. Something that becomes more important than God. Nothing is more important than God. We just forget. We just forget. We get too caught up in our daily lives to involve God.
With Ray saying that, I think that's why it's so important for us to start our day with God and finish our day with God, like morning prayer, so that we don't forget.
Yeah.
I get his point, but I feel like whatever I put first before God, I'm still idolizing that. I know I get his point where we do forget, but then I feel like to me that somehow falls under me idolizing, the worldly things that I put first.
Exodus 20 verse 3, like the first commandment. It says, "You shall not have no other gods before me." And the second one is, "You shall not make yourself an image in form of anything in heaven, above or on earth." So pretty much first and second commandment, that's what God's saying about the idol. God is real particular. God is, he's in a Samoan word, fuwa. He's real fuwa. Like there should not be anything other than just God. Like he's a loving God. He wants us to put him first.
To be honest, I kind of idolize gaming a lot. Like it's probably the thing that keeps me going on. Like that feeling of when I get home and play the game with the boys. It's also like knowing it's bad, but like that feeling of God's a loving God. I'm sure He'll forgive me. Even though it's not a good thing to think, kind of abusive, but like that's just how I feel. I haven't prayed in my while too.
Hey, I'm the same shit. I don't pray much.
I just need to start praying a lot more. Like I was reading the Bible before I even got a phone. Grandma was always making me read the Bible, and now she's gone. It's like it's up to me now if I actually want to take anything she said.
For me, I put music first sometimes because when it comes to gospel, I'll play gospel music on Sabbath or throughout the week. When I feel like I'm in a certain mood, I'll play music, worldly music.
Okay, you said yourself, you play music. You feel like you idolize music.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just talk about music.
Yeah.
You feel like you idolize music.
Yeah.
So then when you listen to your music, let's say you listen to your worldly music, do you say to yourself, am I walking with God right now? Or is God here with me? You know what I mean? Or am I having a bad relationship with God right now? Idolatry means the worship of idols. Yeah? The worship of idols. You can't worship, you don't worship music. You don't worship work. You don't worship money. You like money, you love work, or you can love what you do, but you can never worship it.
Can I just say something? With Ray saying music, you cannot idolize, you cannot worship music. But to me personally, what I feel like idolizing is where my heart and my mind's going.
Yeah.
So I get his whole point of neglecting, distraction. So to me, when I listen to music, and it's a certain sort of music, I feel like my mind, so I always tell myself my mind is a reflection of my heart. So I feel like I'm worshiping what I'm listening, or not what I'm listening to.
See, worshiping. See
Yeah.
what I mean?
Like,
I'm worshiping, but you can't worship.
yeah, you
music.
can't worship. But no, what I'm trying to say is, my mind and my heart. How do we worship God? It's through our hearts. Like, I feel like that's how we truly connect to God. That's how we worship Him. So I feel like when I get your point of the whole distraction, that's where my heart's going. That's where my mind and my heart's going. Is going to the music that I'm listening to. So in some sort of way, I'm worshiping something that's not God. If that gets me. No, you see.
I see where
You
you're
get what I'm trying to say? I came across a Bible verse and it kind of got me thinking. Like I was I was kind of confused because it says, "For by Him all things were created that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created through Him and for Him."
So do you kind of get what I'm talking about? My heart's not going to God, it's going to the music that I'm like so into, I'm listening to. Or say like I'm going out or something, like my heart's so into this. Or like, I just feel like, my point is that whenever my heart's not going towards, I'm not focusing myself towards God, I feel like that's that mountain. Like I feel like I'm going away from God.
Yeah, because then it narrows it down. It says everyone worships something.
Yeah.
But if we refer back to that Bible verse where it says, for by Him all things were created that are in heaven and all of that stuff, everyone worships something, but we were made to worship one thing. And what's that one thing? God. Exactly. That's where we need to bring it down to.
But hey, I'm not disagreeing with what
No,
you're saying.
because there's a lot of
Yeah.
people. There's a lot of people out there who will be thinking exactly the same way you are. So that is pretty much our real talk for today. I'd like to thank each and every one of us who are actually made yourselves available to kind of express your views or your understanding of battles of idolatry. We hope that you have learned something or taken away something very positive from our discussion, and we hope that God will continue to bless you in the name of Jesus Christ, and we all shall say
Amen.
Amen.